In this episode of LaYinka Speaks, I'm going to be bringing something that we're not accustomed to talking very much about, or maybe we don't want to talk about it. But because I'm a bit of a disruptor, I'm okay with talking about it and bringing it to the podcast. And it's that phrase, my feelings are valid. Now, have you ever heard someone say, my feelings are valid? Or maybe you yourself have used that term, my feelings are valid. And you've used it not just to justify your feelings, but also to justify some of the things that you've done or didn't do, said or didn't say as a result of what you are feeling. Curious that, isn't it? And I see this often where the term, my feelings are valid, is used as a blanket statement to validate how one feels and as a means to justify how we handled or didn't handle those feelings. Yeah. The thing about our feelings are what's occurring in our body, right? And it's a feedback to us of what's going on inside our body. So anytime you are feeling a feeling in your body, that is an authentic and valid feeling because you are feeling it. So if you're feeling sad in a particular time, place, someone can't tell you, nah, you're not feeling sad, or you shouldn't feel sad, because what is actually happening in that moment is that, yeah, you're feeling sad, and that feeling of sadness is valid. Now, what you do as a result of that feeling of sadness, now, girlfriend, that's a choice. It's not necessarily valid, justified, correct, acceptable, good, the action, but the feeling preceding the action, that absolutely 100% is valid. Some of us want to absolve ourselves of the responsibility we have in choosing how we respond to what we feel, though. Let me say that again. Some of us want to absolve ourselves of the responsibility that we have in choosing how we respond to what we are feeling. And so we will easily use the statement, my feelings are valid, as a way to maybe get out of being responsible for our actions. Our feelings being valid doesn't absolve us of the responsibility we have in how we respond to our feelings. Or for some of us, we're not even responding. We are simply reacting to our feelings. And so while your feelings, yes, are valid, it doesn't mean that your feelings are an accurate reflection of reality. Interpretation of reality is based on the perceptions, beliefs, and thoughts that you have. Hence, why you do what you do. So let me give you an example. Let's say I have a friend. We're close. We're in contact often. We're close. We've been through a lot. And then there's a new friend on the block. Yeah. And I'm spending more time with this new friend on the block. My original friend A, let's call her, she is not spending as much time with me as friend B is. And so friend A starts feeling a certain way. She starts feeling frustrated, starts feeling rejected, starts feeling left out. Those are her feelings. Her actions, she starts ghosting me, or she's short with me, or she ignores my messages, or those are her actions, right? Her feelings of rejection and being left out are completely valid. Her actions, she's responsible and she's made a choice for those actions. But those actions that she's taken to ghost me, to be short with me, to be a bit cold with me, they have come from her thoughts, her beliefs, and her perception of what is going on. Her belief that she's loved less. Her perception is that I prefer this friend over her. Her thoughts that she's not good enough to be my friend anymore. All of those three things right there, they're not a reflection, an accurate reflection of reality. They are her interpretation of reality. And so when she does those things, they're not necessarily justified. They're choices, right? But they're not necessarily justified as a reality. They're not necessarily justified as a reflection of reality. They are simply her interpretation of reality. Now, this sometimes is really challenging for us to wrap our heads around because it's easy to be a victim. And it's easier to be a victim, right? It's like, do you know what? It's less work. It's less work. Let me just be a victim. Let me just say it's because of what he said, she said, this, that. And because I felt this way and I did what I did. Done. Dusted. Finished. No more conversation. It is valid in our heads. But if we were to get curious, if we were to observe, if we were to lean in a little bit, we would notice that what we feel is what we feel. That's in our bodies and that's what we feel. What we do as a result of what we feel, we are still responsible for. And what we do as a result of what we feel is underpinned by the thoughts, feelings, and perceptions that we have. And so while we can say categorically, emphatically that, yeah, my feelings are valid, that doesn't give me a pass to act out or to act in whatever way I choose with no repercussions or consequences or taking responsibility for in the long run. You hear what I'm saying? And it's for us to check ourselves. It's for us to lean in and get curious with ourselves. It's for us to say, yes, I feel this, but this doesn't have to lead to that, only if I choose for it to. And if you choose for it to, cool, but don't blame it on your feelings, girlfriend. Don't blame it on your feelings. It's not the feelings, it's the perception. So going back to my friend, she felt sad, she felt upset, she felt rejected. If she didn't have the underpinning or underlying belief that she wasn't good enough, that feeling be valid, and she could then make a decision to maybe use that feeling to have a conversation with me instead of ghosting me, instead of pushing me away. Either way, she's making a decision, right? And she's making a choice, and she is responsible for whatever choice she makes. It's not a case of using our feelings as a justification for whatever we choose to do. As responsible adults who have the ability to respond, it's for us to know that we get to choose. You get to choose.